These are formed from ash and volcanic fragments which are known as the tuff, producing during explosive eruptions. Tuff rings are wide, flat and low lying, resulting from shallow explosions, whereas tuff cones, although smaller, have steeper sides and thicker deposits near the vent, formed due to more violent interactions between the magma as well as the water. While tuff rings may sometimes have a shallow diatreme beneath them. So, cinder cones are the most common type of volcano in the world. They look like the classic volcano and having shape small, steep, cone shaped hills with a crater at the top. These volcanoes are made up of volcanic ash, small rocks and blobs of lava that were thrown out from a single central vent during an eruption. These are found on the top or sides of the shield volcanoes and the stratovolcanoes. A good example is Wizard Island, which is inside Crater Lake in the Oregon, USA. Another is the Newberry volcano, also in Oregon, which has over 400 cinder cones on its sides. Since cinder cones are built from loose material, they get damaged quickly by wind or rain. So, they do not last very long in geologic time. Some examples of cinder cones volcanoes include Barren Island of India and Tolbachik of Russia and Oakmark in Alaska of USA and the Cerro Negro in Nicaragua, Darwin and Santiago in Galapagos Islands. So, these are steep, rounded or spine shaped mounds that form when thick lava slowly pushes up through a vent but does not flow far. These domes can look differently depending on their shape. Those are tortoise. So, these are low and rounded domes, and the next is Pelion domes. Next is tall spine shaped domes with a steep broken slope, which are also called the talus. The examples of lava domes are Unjain, that is Japan, and the Benjamiani, Russia, and the Santa Maria of Guatemala. And the second is caldera volcanoes. The calderas are huge round or oval shaped volcanic depressions that are more than 1 kilometer wide. They form when a volcano's magma chamber empties during a big eruption and the land above it collapses inward. Then the third is caldera versus crater. So, crater is a small ball shaped hole that is less than 1 kilometer wide, which is formed by the explosion, whereas caldera is a large sunken area that is having 1 to 100 kilometers wide, formed when the volcano collapses inward. When a caldera fills with water, then it becomes a crater lake. The examples of the calderas are Toba, that is Indonesia, and the crater lake, which is of Oregon, USA, and the examples of the calderas with crater lakes are Douglas of Alaska, USA, and the Cotopaxi from Ecuador, and the Erebus from the Antarctica. These are the solid rock remains of a volcano's inner passage, which is called as a conduit, and that are left behind after the rest of the volcano wears away over time. So, when the volcano becomes inactive and the outer parts erode, this hard plug stands out like a tall steep column because it is tougher than the surrounding rock. Example of this, Little Devil's Post Pile, that is Yosemite National Park, USA, and Alisa Craig, Scotland, and the Kapsiki Peak, that is Cameroon, and the Ship Rock, that is from New Mexico, USA. And the next type is non-volcanic craters are the cryptovolcanic structures. So, these are crater-like landforms that look volcanic but are not formed by volcanic activity. Instead, they are created when meteoroids, asteroids or comets crash into the earth, causing a violent explosion and rock melting. Example of this, Meteor crater, which is situated in Arizona state of USA, caused by a huge meteorite impact. A geyser is a natural hot water fountain that erupts at regular intervals. Three things that are needed to form a geyser are: first one is water, second one is heat, that is from a underground magma or hot rocks, and the third character or third feature is a special underground system of cracks and spaces, plumbing, that is plumbing. So, if one of these is missing, it might form a hot pool or a boiling spring instead of a geyser. For example of geysers are Yellowstone National Park, which is situated in the USA, erupts about every hour. So, these are the spots where hot water naturally comes out of the ground and the water gets heated underground by hot rocks and rises to the surface, often along the fault line. The fumaroles are small openings on the earth's surface where hot gases escape from underground. They do not release liquid or solid material, but only gases and the mainly steam and hydrogen sulfide, and the fumaroles usually have temperatures between 100 degrees centigrades to 300 degrees centigrade. When hydrogen sulfide reacts with oxygen, it forms yellow sulfur deposits, and which are called as solfatoras, that is, it is an Italian word. Most famous solfatoras can be found in Iceland. So, the intrusive landforms are created when magma cools and hardens inside the earth without reaching the surface. So, if magma fills up existing spaces in rocks, it is called as a passive intrusion. When the magma pushes and creates its own spaces, it is known as a active intrusion. So, those are like batholiths. Batholiths are massive bodies of the magmatic material that solidify deep within the earth's crust, forming large dome-like structures, and these structures become visible on the surface only after erosion or the denudation removes the overlying rocks. They span vast areas and may extend several kilometers in depth. Composed mainly of granite, batholiths represents the cooled remnants of ancient magma chambers. And the next feature is laccoliths. Laccoliths are dome shaped intrusive features with a flat base connected to magma sources through pipe-like conduits. Though they resemble the dome of composite volcanoes seen at the surface, laccoliths form at greater depth. They act as localized sources of the lava that sometimes reach the surface. In regions like the Karnataka plateau, exfoliated granite domes are often the result of ancient laccoliths or the batholiths. Lapoliths, phacoliths and the sills. So, as magma ascends, some of it may spread horizontally when it encounters zones of weakness in the surrounding rock. This magma can settle in various forms. So, when it takes on a saucer shape, then that is concave upward, it is called as a lapolith. In folded mountain regions, wavy lens like masses of intrusive rock may be found at the base of the synclines or the crest of the anticline. Then these are known as the phacoliths and usually have a connection to deeper magma sources, possibly forming future batholiths, sills and the dikes or sheets depending on the thickness, or nearly horizontal intrusions of magma that settle between existing layers of rock. Thinner intrusions are referred to as sheets, while thicker ones are called sills. Dikes form when magma pushes through vertical cracks or fissures in the earth crust and cools in place, creating a wall-like structure that stands nearly perpendicular to the ground. So, these are some of the most common intrusive landforms, especially prevalent in western Maharashtra. Dikes are believed to have acted as feeders for volcanic eruptions that led to the formation of the Deccan Trough. Endogenetic forces are responsible for shaping the Earth's major relief features such as mountains, plateaus, plains and valleys. Among these, sudden movements like earthquakes and the volcanic eruptions occur rapidly and often led to the formation of volcanic mountains and lava plateaus. Volcanism refers to the processes and the features related to the movement and the solidification of magma both within the Earth's crust and on its surface. A volcano is a geological structure with a deep vent through which gases, ash, water vapor, molten rock and liquid lava are ejected on the Earth's surface. Volcanic landforms are classified into two types based on the behavior of the magma. Those are extrusive landforms which form on the Earth's surface due to lava flows and volcanic eruptions, and the next category is intrusive landforms which form when magma cools and solidified within the Earth crust without reaching the surface.